It is gut check time. It is gut check time. You either believe in reducing spending or you don't. We're giving $3,600,000 to Haiti for pastry cooking classes, for cyber cafes, for dance focus groups, for male prostitutes. The president's saying, I don't think so. I don't think that the American people support giving their hard-earned money to male prostitutes in Haiti. So he's asking us to cut it out. He's asking us to reduce the budget by $833,000 because some of President Biden's bureaucrats gave a contract to transgender people, sex workers, and their clients in Nepal. That's why I call it spending porn. Triggers your gag reflex. You look at this stuff and you go, what in God's name? Who decided to do this?
Senator John Kennedy just turned a Senate hearing into one of the most brutal, no-mercy congressional grillings ever put on tape. 3 senior Homeland Security officials, people paid big money to know exactly what's happening at our border, sat there and straight up admitted they couldn't answer the most elementary questions about the massive illegal immigration surge under Biden. This wasn't a slip-up. This was Kennedy methodically, relentlessly exposing that the folks supposedly running border security don't have the first clue about the basics. How many illegal immigrants came in total? Blank. How many were children? No idea. How many claimed asylum? Couldn't tell you. How many actually showed up for court? Silence. How many got deported? Zip. Kennedy wasn't just calling out ignorance. He was constructing an ironclad case, one devastating brick at a time. Then he dropped the line that hit like a sledgehammer. 8 million people. That's 4 entire Nebraskas worth of human beings flooding into the country, and the people in charge can't even tell you where they are or who they are. 4 Nebraskas. Let that sink in for a second. Let's roll the full exchange.
I want to say, Mr. President, next week, President Trump's going to send us over what's called a rescission bill. What does that mean? Well, we've got a $7 trillion budget. Okay? I don't know how much of that $7 trillion is waste, but every fair-minded person would have to agree that there's some money being spent in that $7 trillion that shouldn't be spent. It just shouldn't. It's wasted money. And so President Trump and this Congress made one of its objectives trying to reduce spending. Not spending that we need to reduce, but spending that needs to be reduced. I call it spending porn. And the president has sent us a bill. He's saying to Congress, I want you to reduce spending in the current budget by $9.1 billion. And let me tell you what the spending, what constitutes the spending I want to reduce. Well, first, $9.1 billion out of a $7 trillion budget, we're not talking about a lot of money here. We're talking about 0.1%. That's all. That's point one. Point two, you need to look at what the president's asking us to cut out. I'll just give you a couple of examples. I didn't make this up. The president is saying we're giving $3 million to Iraq to produce Sesame Street. Maybe we could use that money for something else. The president is saying we're giving $3 million to Zambia for circumcisions and vasectomies. The president's saying we don't need to do that. We've got other priorities. We're giving $500,000 to Rwanda to buy electric buses. The president is saying to us, Congress, we don't need to be spending the money on that. There are more important things. We're spending $67,000 to give insect powder to kids in Madagascar. I don't even know what insect powder is, but the president's asking us to cut it out. We're giving $3,600,000 to Haiti for pastry cooking classes, for cyber cafes, for dance focus groups, for male prostitutes. The president's saying, I don't think so. I don't think that the American people support giving their hard-earned money to male prostitutes in Haiti. So he's asking us to cut it out. He's asking us to reduce the budget by $833,000 because some of President Biden's bureaucrats gave a contract to transgender people, sex workers, and their clients in Nepal. The president's saying, I don't want to do that. And he's right. That's enough. You get the idea. That's why I call it spending porn. Triggers your gag reflex. You look at this stuff and you go, what in God's name? Who decided to do this? Well, Congress didn't. The bureaucrats did. It's money we appropriated, but we didn't tell them to go spend money, $833,000, and give to sex workers in Nepal. They just took the money we appropriated and used it for that. And so the president is asking us to do what's called a rescission, to cancel the spending. Now, I have listened. I've been here 8 years, Mr. President, and I've listened to a whole bunch of people talk about the need to reduce spending. But you got to watch what people do, not what they say, because talk is cheap. And around here, I've learned pretty quickly that reducing spending, it's like going to heaven. I want to go to heaven. I bet you want to go to heaven, Mr. President. I bet our guests in the gallery want to go to heaven. But everybody wants to go to heaven. Raise your hand if you're ready to take the trip today. Most people, you are, sir, and I admire that. But most people want to live a little longer. And that's the way it is with reducing spending around here. I want to reduce spending. I support it, but not just yet. Because I've got this project.
Senator John Kennedy's 7-minute demolition job wasn't about catching witnesses off guard. It was about ripping the veil off the Biden administration's real immigration game plan. And what's underneath is ugly. When the top brass at Homeland Security can't, or flat out won't, give you basic numbers on how many millions crossed illegally, how many kids are in the mix, how many are still here, or how many actually got removed, there's only one sane takeaway. This isn't bungling, this is deliberate policy, hidden behind layers of bureaucratic dodging. And we don't know excuses. Kennedy walked them through it step by ruthless step, from demanding the total count to landing that savage food truck analogy, and proved what tens of millions of Americans have been yelling from the rooftops. The administration hates these numbers, because the numbers are radioactive. 8 million illegal entries in less than 4 years isn't a border challenge. It's the total, willful collapse of border security. The officials' refusal to even own the scale? That tells you everything about where their loyalties really lie. Kennedy tossed them an easy, proven lifeline, safe third country agreements. Every other serious nation on earth uses them. They work. But when Mr. Salazar couldn't explain why, after 2 full years, they still haven't touched something so obvious and effective, he basically confessed on live TV. Open borders isn't a bug, it's the feature. They just won't say the quiet part out loud. And that viral food truck line? It went nuclear because it nailed the truth dead center. These aren't harmless clerical errors. When the people sworn to defend America's sovereignty either don't know, or refuse to disclose, the basic facts about the largest, fastest migration wave in our history, they've zero credibility left. An oncologist who can't tell you what cancer looks like loses his license on the spot. Homeland Security officials who can't, or won't, tell you immigration numbers should lose their damn jobs. And the 4 million children Kennedy zeroed in on. 4 million kids completely untracked, unaccounted for by these clowns? That's not policy failure. That's a full-scale humanitarian nightmare manufactured by willful, arrogant blindness. Where the hell are those children right now? Who's actually looking out for them? The official's stone-cold silence on that one question alone is disqualification enough. Kennedy didn't just ask questions. He forced the ugly reality into the open, and made it impossible to look away. If you're done with the gaslighting, sick of the excuses, and want more raw, unfiltered takedowns like this, smash subscribe right now. We're keeping the heat on. The next one's loading.